What is up, viewers? Spang here, bringing you another World of Tanks gameplay commentary, and it is going to be another match in my T54E1, the Echo, as I so affectionately call it. Now, be grateful that all my 8.7 replays are no longer viewable, because you'd be seeing a lot more of these. I love this tank. It is great. But anyway, this is going to be a standard battle on mines, and let's just say, you can tell I am platooned up with an M103 who goes by the name of the Right Way, 23, I believe. Yes, 23. And he is part of Smart Z. He actually moved up to SMRT. Smart Z is the sub-clan of SMRT. And if I'm not mistaken, this good buddy of mine is a subscriber as well. So if he's paying attention to my channel, he'll see himself. And right now you can tell I'm going hill, not necessarily to take it, but more or less to discourage the enemy team from taking it. Now you can tell I couldn't stop that 1390. However, I will lay into this T71 just a little bit. You know, I'll try to lead him as best as I can. I miss him that time and don't even get a third shot, but I'm saving my two remaining rounds. Now the enemy team does have a pretty powerful artillery there, that tier 9. Something I have to be a little bit cautious of. But right now, this T44 managing to come up and cause a little bit of havoc, recognizing he's probably not going to get up there. All the enemy team has up there are two scouts at the moment trying to discourage anything else from making that run. An enemy T54E1 and a tortoise being located. This 103, you know, Right Way kind of saying, I'm going to peek up here a little bit, try and do something, and I'm saying, hey man, I'm falling back, I'm clipping, which means I'm reloading my entire clip. That's usually the terminology we use amongst players in TeamSpeak. And our team kind of really not sending anything to the city. Wow, that's kind of surprising. That tank destroyer sitting way far back there, not really in any good position to support. I would say he should move up at least 2 houses there. And up, there we go. He actually is moving up. Our team sent something to the riverside. I'm trying to support on the crossway. And this T34 not giving me anything at this point, but he will back up, and I'll get a free shot right here, maybe a second one. Nope, pulls up way too quickly for me to get anything else, but I say, there's a little bit hanging out there. Maybe I'll get something up. There it is. And I take the shot. Yes, there we go. Another free shot on him. He is definitely within 2-shot range. I'm going to take another one just for the hell of it. And this T54 kind of backing up. Now, I'm trying to stay already safe. You can tell there's a rock to my right. And I'm just trying not to get absolutely nuked here. As right there, that T34 clearly getting hit by that one shot I took when I couldn't see him. So proving to be useful. Right there, T54 taking around for me, living but only to quickly die to that E75. So M103, Right Way, managing to kill that 1390. Finally, enemy T71 also being eliminated. Thank God nothing else from the enemy team really on the hill at this point. That T44 moving up to that rock, definitely trying to be a bit of a pain. But this T34 kind of my focus right now. Unfortunately, I still probably have a good 10, maybe 5 seconds at this point on my reload, and hoping he's going to back up just a little bit yet again. Come on, there we go. 4 rounds in the chamber, and there we go. Finally eliminating that 34. I was really the only one who ever shot him. The enemy IS-3 kind of cursing around there, saying, you know, Foxtrot, Foxtrot, Sierra. If you know what that means, good for you. If not, whatever. I'm not going to take the time. But right there, enemy artillery getting lit up. I'm kind of hoping our artillery takes notice and is reloaded. Honestly, with the RD nerfs, it's really hard unless you are dedicated to counter battery. You really aren't going to be in a position to kill artillery when they are spotted. Our team having a comfortable, I wouldn't say comfortable lead, but a slight lead at this point in time. I'm feeling good about the odds being even, because honestly, when the odds are even, they're usually in my favor, because I can shift a match to take a slight advantage and push it to a full advantage. Now, unfortunately, I only have 3 rounds in, and it won't be enough to kill that T44. Unfortunately, now if I had a 4th round in, he would definitely be dead. But as we can tell, definitely forced him to back off there. He does not want to show his face again quite yet. The enemy team still lagging behind by 1 tank. Oh, closing that gap right then and there. Only killing a scout tank, so nothing too major of a loss with that kill. Now, you have to keep in mind, scout tanks, they can be a determining factor, but most of the time, they are not heavy hitters. Unless you're talking about the 1390, at which case, yeah, you should be afraid. But the enemy team really trying to stop our island waterside push here. That 53-55 kind of hurting, and this enemy IS kind of just chilling on that backside here. Now, I know the Tortoise is still up there, so I'm being a little bit cautious. This 44. Not sure what he was doing. Clearly could have taken a shot on me, but guess he just didn't take the opportunity here. And I don't really want to drive up towards him because I know that will probably expose me to that Tortoise. I don't want to get shot unnecessarily. But the T54 saving me the effort, so I'm just going to shoot him right here. Critical for no damage. Pulls back out in front of me. Hey, buddy, I'm an autoloader. I still have a shot. Now the ISU kind of sneaking up on me right there, managing to knock me out here. And I recognize I have to reload. If I want any chance of beating him, I have to reload right now. Because I am a possible one shot for him, and I only had 2 shots left, which were, I need at least 3 to kill him. So I made the right call, in my opinion. We are still close enough in tank values. I'm not too concerned at this point. Right way, doing pretty well for himself. 2 kills, and kind of holding off whatever is going on in the city. Now, that enemy tank, that friendly tank you see sitting back on our base, being pretty much useless this entire match. If you go back to the beginning, he's pretty much been there the entire round, is that IS. And yes, I understand, people, if you are in a smaller tank in a heavier hitting match, it's intimidating. You don't want to move yourself out there. You don't want to just get blown up right away, and I understand that. But at the same time, you can't operate on the sniper mentality. Your gun's not good enough to penetrate them up close. It definitely won't be good enough to penetrate them at a distance. So you can't snipe as a lower tier tank 90% of the time. It's not always the case, but 90% of the time you really can. And so your best bet is to roll with a heavier tank. Attach yourself at the hip to a larger tank, support them. When they bait an enemy shot, you move out, or use them as a distraction to flank. Or, you know what, if you both push at the same time, let's say the enemy team shoots the bigger tank because they recognize the larger threat. Then you use that opportunity to go around the side. Ooh, missing a shot right there. This ISU taking a shot on me. Bouncing, unfortunately for him. Gonna get a second shot. And a third shot here, promising him I will eliminate him. The enemy team trying to stop me from doing so, but there we go. Kill number 3. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So let's say they shoot the bigger target. You are now free to move on the side of them, hit them from the side and the rear, where you can actually penetrate and do some damage while they are focused on the larger threat. And if they try to change their attention to you, then they're exposing themselves and really not able to hit anything at all because they're caught between 2 targets. Now, let's say they shoot you instead. That gives your heavier tank the larger threat of free shot, which honestly is a very bad thing for the enemy team. The longer your heavy hitters stay alive, the more of a problem it becomes for the enemy team as their heavy hitters dwindle down in health. So you're useful. Unlike this IS, who's been pretty much useless this entire match. So I'm just saying, I get it's intimidating, but your best option as a lower tier tank in a high tier match is really to attach yourself at the hip to a tank of a similar value. So if you're in a tier 7 heavy tank and it's a tier 9 match, find a tier 9 heavy tank to attach yourself to. If you're a tier 7 medium tank and it's a tier 9 match, find yourself a tier 9 medium tank to attach yourself to. Or even a tier 10 heavy tank, you can still work it with a medium. Not so much the other way around. If you're a heavy tank, you pretty much got to find another heavy tank. But let's say you're a tank destroyer. Honestly, in that case, you have a higher paying gun. You can probably sit back and snipe because you're a tank destroyer. But in few other cases, but not as a medium or a heavy. And if you're a scout tank, if you're a light tank, well, you know what your role is. You've got to be circling around the map, kind of popping over hills just for a split second, lighting up those enemy targets, and once an opportunity presents itself, either charge their arty or get on their flanks. You're really a faster, more lightly armored medium tank as a scout, in my opinion. At least 90% of the time. Well, that might be a bit generous, but let's say the T71, 1390, yeah. I'm sorry, my rant's over with. I just can't stand players who sit back and use the excuse, oh, I was only a tier 7, I couldn't do anything. It's like, no, you could have done something. Just saying. Now, you can tell right here, kind of going back and forth, making sure the enemy team does not come around on my backside. I want to make sure no one sneaks up on me. If they come up on me, I want it to be with my gun pointing at them. So this IS coming out. Now, our tank really doesn't have any excuse. The only thing he should be afraid of at this point in time, that IS, should be the Tortoise. Now, our artillery here, kind of getting a bit ballsy. Yog Panther seeing me, getting a shot, knocking out my ammo. Not too much of a factor on an autoloader as long as I have a clip loaded, which is the case. And he's going to get himself eliminated. Bouncing the remaining shots from him. And you can tell, very unfortunate circumstances for me. 4 kills now, and my ammo knocked out with no repair kit because I used it earlier on some tracks, if I recall correctly. I used it earlier on something to make sure I didn't get shot more than I needed to. But as you can tell, reload time now very long, but like I said, with autoloaders, that's only a factor if you don't have a clip in. So, in 90% of the time, if you're reloading an entire clip in an autoloader, you're kind of screwed anyway if an enemy tank rolls up on you. So, I just have to be a little more cautious during my reload periods now, but as soon as I have my magazine in, I'm going to be perfectly fine. 4 shots of unmitigated pain are going to be coming their way, and I'm just trying, again, to be careful here, because I can get 1 shot by artillery, I can get 2 shot by a tortoise, which I believe only like has 6 seconds between each shot. It's kind of devastating, his rate of fire. It might even be 5 seconds and something. But you really don't want to get caught out in the open with a tortoise coming down on you. Now this IS, kind of getting threatened by our GW Tiger here. Our artillery is telling him to go or he's going to shoot him. I say negative. Let's face facts. Okay, enemy artillery now spotted by me, heading towards our base to cap. Not really the wisest option. I'm a little bit concerned here about the tortoise being over in that sector, which is why I didn't just go right at him. And so I hang back a little, take the shot, and knock out the 53-55. And I'm not quite sure if that... Actually, I'm pretty much 100% sure that wasn't the best option for him. But here we go. I make the decision to clip because I do not know how much health that tortoise has. So I want all 4 rounds of mine to be used. And our Tiger saying useless, referring to our IS. Again, probably right, but you know, he's clearly a new player, or at least a player who has not learned the game yet. You know, I've seen players with like 10,000 matches and still have no idea how to play this game. But here I'm still being cautious, especially now that I'm reloading. And it's been an impressive comeback. Our team probably should have lost this one, but again, as long as the gap isn't too great and I'm in a good enough vehicle, I can make the comeback all by myself. Now, right here, the tortoise definitely at enough health to where I would need all 4 shots to do damage. Getting spotted by our artillery, of all things, which I expected our artillery to die at that point. You know, I kind of thought he was absolutely nothing but bait. And here I'm about to run up the center. Probably not the best option, because, you know, that tortoise is on that hill, and I rethink it. As you can tell, I'm saying, maybe not so much run right up the middle. That's probably going to get me killed. So, as you can tell, it's going to take a little bit longer, but it's also much safer. And, almost go a little bit too fast. Decide to slowly take a little bit of damage and run down into the water side. Because, as you can tell, I have this cliff face, I have those rocks, I have everything providing me cover now. And it's not just a straight shot at the tortoise. I even have that house there off in the distance providing a little bit of a barrier. So the tortoise, most likely behind that rock, or somewhere far enough back up on that hill to where he can't shoot me. And definitely now that the house is in the way. So being smart in my advance, because you know what, I've also, if you've noticed, switched to APCR. Like I've said in previous commentaries, when it is clutch time, I usually pull out the premium rounds if I'm able. So GW Tiger hurting our IS full health because, I mean, he really hasn't done anything this match. And I'm at 5 kills, trying to get Top Gun as per usual. If I'm at 5 kills and I see an opportunity, I'm going for it. It's not stat padding, it's just smart play. And IS, I really want him to push first. I really do. But at the same time, I don't want him to go too far before me, because if that enemy tank destroyer, yep, there we go, is facing the right way, which I saw he was, but he is now turning right towards me. I didn't really want to get shot by him unnecessarily. IS really not going to be doing anything. Judging by his player skill, I knew he wouldn't know where to shoot the tortoise. Now, here we go. The tortoise pegged hard by artillery, and ooh, 1 shot right there in his weak spot. 2nd shot right in his weak spot. Getting a top gun from the tank destroyer and managing to pull out an incredible kind of nail-biting win for me at the time, because as soon as my ammo was knocked out, I knew if the enemy team decided to push as one unified force, I was probably going to be screwed. Thank God they did not do that, but managed to, you know, make it come back and get a win there in the end. It was a very well-fought match. Definitely, you know, my team owes myself, and right way to an extent, you know, he managed to get 2 kills in there as well. So, owing us a bit of a favor for pulling out that win. But anyway, If you like this video, click that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you've got a replay, send it to spanglereplays@gmail.com. Just follow the instructions in the description. This has been Spang, and I am signing off.